Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Nintendo Wii U emulation with CEMU, and I've been pinged a whole bunch about this one. There was an early build for CEMU on Android that got posted. Keyword early, and yes, CEMU for Android is in the works. Now, before you get too excited, the build has been taken down. It's no longer publicly available, and if you go around searching for it, chances are you're going to find malware instead. So be patient here. Here's the latest from the CEMU Discord. If y'all are here for Android CEMU, you're maybe a year too early. Current status needs PPC to ARM recompiler. This is quite a bit of work. There's still a lot of work left to do. So yes, it's confirmed. We're getting CEMU for Android. Now you will have to be patient. It's going to take a while to release, but at the same time here, this is very exciting. My only request is just be patient and not go to their Discord and ask when it's releasing. It'll release when it's ready, and as soon as I know more about it, you'll know more. And speaking of asks, next up we're talking about PlayStation 2 emulation with PCSX2, and the PCSX2 team are asking for some help. So this is right from their Discord. As we are approaching the next stable release, we invite anyone willing to help with translations to contribute. Translations can be found over at Crowdin. I'll drop a link to their Crowdin page in the description below. Taking a look at their Crowdin page, and they seem to be doing pretty well, but there are some pretty big gaps in certain languages. And it's also very exciting to know that they're going to be getting a stable release soon. They're currently on a rolling release schedule, which I think is working very well. Moving on, and we're talking about SNES emulation with SNES 9X, and SNES 9X just got its first update in about a year. So at the time of filming, SNES 9X 1.63 is the latest update here, and they say it's mainly a bug fix release. Now, there are some notable improvements for Mac. They've added a new cheat finder, they've added multi-cart support back, and they created a blank window when starting the program so the global menu change doesn't go unnoticed. I don't know about you, but I like SNES 9X quite a bit, and I'm glad to see it's still alive and kicking and doing very well. Let me know your thoughts about SNES 9X in the comments below. Next up, this one's a quick one, but might be interesting to some people. Mystical Ninja starring Goeman for N64 gets a fan-made PC recompilation project, and it's looking real good. From my understanding, it supports widescreen and 60 frames per second, and yeah, the game is looking real smooth and better than it ever did on the N64. Additionally, they say it works on the Steam Deck when added as a non-Steam game and using Proton Experimental. So there you go. I'll drop a link to this doc in the description below as well. Next up, this is a real quick one, and I'll drop a link to the video in the description below, and I guess just feel free to check it out yourself. Apparently, yes, Doom is ported to pretty much everything. The title of this video is Dong Doom, the Special Pleasing Experience, and I think that's all you really need to know. Moving on, and we're talking about Xbox, and this one's interesting because it appears that Microsoft has taken an, I don't want to say an anti-Xbox approach, but basically they're pushing Game Pass to try to get as many gamers as possible to their platform. And they're basically saying you don't need an Xbox to play Xbox games. Now, we did talk about Xbox headed to the Fire TV stick in a previous video, but this advertisement says no Xbox, have no fear with Amazon Fire TV stick, and showcases, yeah, you don't need an Xbox. However, Xbox has just announced a price increase to Game Pass, convenient timing. Additionally here, they're getting rid of Xbox Game Pass for consoles. They say starting on July 10th, Xbox Game Pass for console will not be available for new members, and they're introducing Xbox Game Pass Standard to replace it, and this will not include day one games. Now, if you have Xbox Game Pass for console, there is something to note here. If you are currently subscribed to Xbox Game Pass for console and have automatic payment renewal enabled, you will be able to continue to enjoy your membership. If at any time you turn off your automatic payment renewal and your membership lapses, you will no longer have access to Game Pass for console. As for the price increases here, it looks like Game Pass Ultimate in the States is going up $3 a month. Game Pass for PC looks like it's going up $2 a month. And Game Pass Standard is going to be priced at, I think, $14.99 per month. Next up, this one's a quick one, and just a friendly heads up. The latest rumor out there is that Arc System Works is working on a 3D version of Double Dragon, set to release sometime in 2025. Although this is just a rumor, it does look promising, and Arc System Works is behind some great games like Guilty Gear. Anyways, here I'm hoping that this turns out well. I'm hoping that this rumor is real. And what are your thoughts about a 3D version of Double Dragon? Next up, this one's another heads up, and this one is crazy. Palworld is partnering with Sony, and I'm not joking with you. Here's the official announcement. Pocket Pair is excited to announce a joint venture company with Sony Music Entertainment and Aniplex to establish Palworld Entertainment Incorporated, for the purpose of accelerating the multifaceted global development of Palworld and its further expansion. In my opinion, this is massive on a number of different levels. One, you've got Nintendo with Pokemon, and now you've got Sony with Palworld. And number two, all of the rumors about Nintendo going after Palworld. Well, now Sony is with them, so I don't think that's going to happen, but let me know your thoughts about this one. And continuing to talk about announcements, this one's another quick one, and just a friendly heads up, Yabus and Shiro 2, which is a Sega Saturn emulator, is currently in review to be on Apple's App Store. So if you've got an iPhone, you may want to keep your eye open for this one. Next up, we're talking about a front end for a multiplayer online arcade emulation, as well as stuff like the Sega Dreamcast and more with Fightcade. And Fightcade just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, Fightcade version 2.1.43 is the latest update. It brings Final Burn Neo up to version 2.97.44-55. There's a whole bunch of bug fixes here and game updates. Additionally here, they've updated Fightcade with Flycast Dojo 6.4.4, which has even more optimizations and fixes. If you are curious about Fightcade and wanted to learn more about it, I'll drop a link in the description below. There's a lot of top-ranked fighting game players who use Fightcade. Next up, we're quickly talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with Ryujinx. Now, we talked about Ryujinx the other day when they had some Adreno GPU updates, and today they've got another one. So at the time of filming, version 1344 is the latest update for Ryujinx, and if you've got an Adreno GPU, you may like this one. On Adreno driver significantly improves rendering in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Next up, we're talking about some ROM hacks. The first one here is for Super Mario RPG on the SNES. This one is called Manalls Waluigi RPG, and version 1.3 just dropped. This ROM hack replaces Mario with Waluigi as the protagonist and Toadstool with Daisy, and version 1.3 brings about a whole bunch of tweaks and increased character customization. And speaking about version 1.3, version 1.3 of Mega Man 1 The New Lands Remastered has just dropped. If you're a fan of Mega Man 1 and ROM hacks, this may be worth learning about. Version 1.3 brings about some fixes and optimizations, and the New Lands Remastered brings about new stages, new level designs, gimmicks, weapons, boss fights, enemy behaviors, and music and sound changes. Next up is just a friendly heads up that YouTube viewer NewPipe seems to be having some pretty serious issues. It appears that YouTube may have made some changes in the back end because there's a lot of complaints about NewPipe and other YouTube players that are refusing to play now when starting videos. I've got no idea when this is going to be fixed, if it's going to be fixed, but a lot of people are saying pages are loading but videos are not playing. Next up here, we talked about Doom previously, and now we're talking about Doom again, but this time a mod for Doom. And if you're a fan of Alice in Wonderland, you might like this one. This is Alice Toys of Madness version 0.90, and the beta has now dropped. They say, yes, you can play as Alice right now. Here's Cheshire Cat. Shower enemies with burning tea, and even more. This one is up on GitHub. It's 100% free. It's open source, and if you're curious about it and wanted to learn more, I'll drop a link in the description below. And speaking about learning more, next up we're talking about Farnation, which is an unreleased Sega Dreamcast MMORPG. Footage of this game has just released on YouTube. If you wanted to learn more about everything, I'll drop a link to this article in the description below. From my understanding, Farnation was supposed to compete against something like EverQuest. It was revealed back in 2000, and then we didn't hear about it since then. From my understanding, this game will be preserved in due time, but right now it's just sitting on a beta disc. If you wanted to see these teaser videos, I'll drop a link in the description below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and one fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely anything we talked about in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.